Look Outreach is underwritten by the generous support of Munter Enterprises. Family owned and operated since 1972, integrity is important, as our family name is on every project. Our word is our bond. Munter Enterprises. Just build it.
Welcome back, everyone. Think about how often we take for granted that we have a certain sense of language, that we have a certain way of communicating. We understand math. We understand a bit about science. In other words, we're literate. Well, can you imagine actually being an adult and hiding from the fact that you can't spell, you can't read, you probably can't do simple math? No, we're not talking about the 1700s here. We're talking about right now, right in our community. And joining me today are two people who are really dedicating large portion of their life to helping those people. Harrison Freer is here, who's a board member for Literacy New York, and Roseann Anzalone is here, who is actually a coordinator, is that?
Yeah, I'm a
for
coordinator.
Literacy New York. So welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, when I knew you were coming in, I thought to myself, boy, tell me we don't take it for granted that we can communicate and communicate effectively. Now, suppose you can't, right?
It's amazing the number of people that come into the office and don't have that skill set. It's just a shame.
I bet. Now, think about what it takes for them to get up the courage to come. I imagine they also feel very self-conscious about this, right? They're used to hiding. They're used to getting around the fact that they can't read something when they go in. And, you know, so when they come to you, what is it like when you first meet them?
Well, when people first walk into the office, it's really kind of amazing because we're in Crandall Library. And the librarians do a wonderful job of putting the people at ease before they walk into the office.
Oh, wonderful.
So we actually get people that are coming in are expected to be treated respectfully, which really is a compliment to us because we're real happy that they know that they're going to come in and get some help. So we're pretty excited that they do come in and walk through the door.
So Harrison, they come in, you recognize that there's a need there, right? What's the process like to build a criteria for how you will help that person?
Well, we've been doing this for a long time. We, not me specifically, but there is a process where the person comes in and then we'll have to evaluate or assess where they are as a starting point.
Yeah, I bet.
And we work with various agencies, and the state provides tools, and we work closely with our colleagues. And Roseann will do a series of assessments, interviews, tests, and then the big job is to pair that learner or student with a tutor who will be a good fit. And, you know, it's not just, it's partly styles, it's partly schedules, you know, somebody who is available in the evening versus the morning or, you know, midday. And then styles, is this person's weak point math or is their weak point, you know, reading? And that's a big part of the process. And then after that occurs, to track them, to make sure they're making progress, make sure it's still a good fit. You know, people's schedules in life change, right?
That's right.
1 year, this guy might be working evenings, and then the next year or 6 months later, he might get on a different shift. So,
And, you know, you think about the economic status of a lot of people who would have a job but are not literate. So, you know, they're working night shifts, they're working some rough hours to try to make ends meet. When someone comes in, Roseann, are there any categories like that they fall into that, a needs assessment is kind of what I'm talking about here. Is it language, is it math, is it learning English, what is it?
We actually have 4 different categories that people fall into.
Okay.
They are basic language learners, so that's somebody who's got skill sets that are below, say, a middle school student.
Oh, okay.
And then we have those that are coming in that want to get their high school equivalency for one reason or another. They didn't finish their high school degree. And then we also have people who want to come in and take their citizenship exam.
Oh, okay.
A lot of those people, though, will pair them with English language learning, which is our 4th category. or a lot of times we like to encourage them to come along and finish up their high school equivalency. So we'll pair it with that because it's equivalent to what they would do for their social studies exam on their high school equivalency test. So
Right, and I would imagine a next logical step, we do a lot of work with BOCES in the community. So if they need to get that high school equivalency to be able to be eligible to get some vocational training out of BOCES, something like that, that's an important step for these people to take.
right.
Right, got to. Now, what's the ratio like, tutor to learner?
We try to do 1-to-1.
Oh, boy.
Out of the Glens Falls office, our majority of our teams are one-on-one. One tutor, one person. We figure if somebody's made the effort to come in, they've built up their courage to come in, to know that there's a person there that's maybe cheerleader, that's there to make sure that they progress. We found that one-on-one works best. Though we do some teams. We do have a couple of English language classes, but for the most part, it's one-on-one.
You know, it sounds to me you can get involved in this. They need tutors. And, you know, you don't have to be a doctorate. You don't have to have a master's. You have to have the basic skills that we're talking about, which I assume all of us have, and the willingness to spend the time. They would have to spool up, though, right? A training session?
There's two different ways that you can become a tutor. There's an online training, which you can do at your own speed. You contact me in the office, I get you a login ID, a URL, and you can do that at your own speed. There's a lot of people like that. Then twice a year, we do an in-person at SUNY Adirondack, and we have one coming up in March. It starts March 26th. It's for 6 weeks. 3 hours a night, and we give you all the skills that you need to be able to do basic language, math tutoring, English second language. So
we're really blessed that this once a week for 6 weeks program. Connie Nealon is really the top of the shelf when it comes to this training. She actually goes out around the state and trains other people. So we're very fortunate that she is a highly skilled train-the-trainer.
Oh,
as a matter of
highly
fact, that's
skilled.
how we nabbed Roseann onto our staff. She was in these, and we're blessed that SUNY Adirondack works closely with the community to provide the facilities for the training as well. So yeah, it's a good system, and like that six Mondays, I think it is.
6
coming
Mondays
up.
in a row.
And then we want to get the tutor comfortable and confident that they're going to be able to, work with the student or the learner.
Right.
So it's an excellent program.
Oh, I'm just thinking, I know so many people that would love to be able to do something like this. Now, how do they contact you? Go Crandall Library?
They can go to Crandall Library and come and stop by in the office, or they can call me.
Got it, okay. And how would they find the phone number?
We have a website, Literacy New York.
Oh, good, okay.
So they can find it on the website, or it's 518-793-7414.
Okay, go to the website, Literacy New York, and that way you can find out more about what it would take in terms of your time and your effort. But, you go back to the basic premise here, is that, we hear so much today on the national political scene about divisiveness and the 1%, and, here's an opportunity for people who are really struggling to just make ends meet, to give them a leg up, to help them learn the skills that they need to be able to support themselves.
And it's really an enriching experience for the tutors in many types.
I bet
just
they
to
would
watch
make friends.
The successes of adult learners. Adult learners don't get the attention that some of the childhood learning programs get, but I actually got involved because I was teaching adults how to fly, and in the skill set that I learned going through the tutor training was useful.
Oh, I bet it was. Well, thank you both very much for coming in.
Thank you.
It's Literacy New York. Source it, Google it, whatever people do today to find out information. And really, find out more about it, because I think the more you learn about it, the more you may want to volunteer and help some other people in the community less fortunate than ourselves. Well, thank you, Roseann. Very nice to meet you.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck with that.
Thank you.
Nice to
Appreciate
see you
it.
again, Harrison. Hey, you going to do a sequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark, or no?
I'm just not landing on taxiways.
Okay. Okay. I was going to try to explain that to our viewers. Forget about it. Great to see you. To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.